Welcome. This is the Del City regular meeting of City Council. Joe, will you please call roll?
Councilman Dean.
Here.
Councilwoman Brown.
Here.
Councilman Tatum. Here. And Vice Mayor Finch.
Here. The invocation tonight will be with City Manager J.D. Hogg. Would you all please stand?
All right, surprise. Go bow your heads in prayer, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and every day. We ask that you bless, protect, and keep the men and women in our armed forces, those that serve the city of Del City, both on this council and the staff, and that you take care of our amazing citizens. Please continue to bless, protect, and keep all of the city of Del City, and be with the Thunder tonight as we are up against the Pacers. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Surprised you, didn't I?
Yeah, I did, you did.
All right, I'm going to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll have Councilman Dean read the proclamation for Independence Day, July 4th, 2025.
Proclamation. Whereas on July 4th, 1776, the United States of America declared its independence, giving birth to a nation founded on the principles of liberty, equality, and self-governance. And whereas each year on the 4th of July, we come together as a community to celebrate our nation's freedom, honor the courage of those who fought for it, and reflect on the values that unite us as Americans. And whereas the city of Del City proudly joins communities across the country in commemorating this day with joy, gratitude, and patriotic spirit. And whereas this occasion is a time for families, friends, and neighbors to gather in celebration through parades, fireworks, music, and fellowship. Now therefore, Floyd A. Eason, as the mayor of the city of Del City, does hereby proclaim July 4, 2025 as Independence Day and ask all residents to join in celebrating the freedoms we cherish and the unity we share as Americans.
Just remember, fireworks are illegal in Del City. If you have to pop one, do it safely, responsible, and respectable. Keep your neighbors involved in this. Think about them, the neighborhood animals, and children. It's all about safety. Item 4, is there any public input at this time? Here comes Ron. Another drill, state your name and address, please.
Ron McCall. Hello. Ron McCall, 3403 South Woodward, Del City. Just wanted to remind everybody about the neighborhood night out this Saturday, starting about 4 o'clock. I already have a couple from the council who's volunteered to be in the dunk tank. What time would you like to go?
Oh, you want me to start it off?
I'm going to start it off. I've already gone, I brought it up. I volunteered to go first. So.
Okay, whenever.
All right, well.
Best slot. I'm going to be I'm the highlight of the.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You put me in the highlight spot. Please, make sure where.
How long you want it?
Most people are there. I don't want to be there. I'm going to. That's right. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. How long you want to go?
Until I raise $200.
We're closing at 8.
I thought you were bringing all your money, Mom. Come on.
Oh, come on now.
No,
You want to do a half hour, an hour?
sure.
What?
Half an hour.
Okay.
And really, I'll finish it off if I have to, if there's nobody else behind me. Or 3 guys, whichever comes first. I plan on wearing my best prom dress. I'm telling you, I don't think I'm gonna get that wet.
We ought to have a prize. We ought to have a prize for the best,
Unless
you know.
there's cheating, so.
She's going to be up there screaming high and dry.
That's right.
JD, what time?
Whatever time you need me, sir. Here, the whole time. Whatever time
want to go before or after?
Well, I don't know, because I'm worried what kind of noise she's gonna talk to people, so I don't want her to take everybody off and then get out of the booth.
Well,
So, whatever you need, just let me know. We'll be there
how long you want to do it? How long?
hour, 30 minutes, whatever.
We'll put you down for a half, we'll see how it goes. Anybody else? Bunch of cowards. No, I want to invite, invite everybody there. It's going to be a great night, all kinds of activities going on. Sounds like Josh has invited 3/4 of the city's businesses to be there. So it's going to be exciting. Let's do it. Thank you.
Yay. Any other public input?
Yes.
Mr. Hightower?
Yeah, Jim Hightower, 3221 Epperly Drive. I almost forgot where I lived. And I don't know what the status of the pool is right now. I haven't seen much on it. I do have a niece, though, that works at the Y. She's like a regional manager or whatever, and she has said that they can provide people and stuff for the pool.
Yes, thank you for providing that for us. Our development director reached out and spoke to her and got some quotes and some ideas for it, so it is something that we are looking into.
Okay. I talked with her today, and she said that she didn't get contacted till last Friday, and then she came out here and was here for an hour at the pool at 3 o'clock this afternoon and was asked to give a bid, which I don't know if that's very realistic, for something like that. So to me, it looks like we don't really want to open the pool. And, this is a small community, and one of my favorite things in the summer when I was a kid was going to the pool. We had a pool down the street at our little elementary school. And, I'd come home in the evening at 6 o'clock, and my eyes would be red as they could be and all that, and I'd be hungry. I'd want to eat something that was, just unbelievable. But that was one of the best activities for me during that time of my life. And, we need to open that pool. That pool needs to be open for this community. It kept me off the street, and God knows, I was always getting in trouble. I really was. And I might get in trouble tonight, I don't know. But, it's just like, this is something that we need for this community. That pool needs to be open, and I'd like to see it covered so we could be open year-round. This city, I'm talking about Oklahoma City, is almost a pool desert. They've closed pools all over the place. Rose State closed. OCCC closed. All these pools have closed, and there's nothing there for these young individuals to go out there and swim. I've got a grandson that is a swimmer. Both my boys, I wanted to make sure that they could swim. And I had one that was a champion in Mississippi at age 10 in 6 different events. He lives down the street from me. And his son, Easton, is now... he's been state champion in Oklahoma for, a couple of years. He's won events in each meet that he's been at. And we need this activity for kids. It's just something that we truly need. So, anyway.
Was your YMCA contact just for the neighborhood watch out or night out thing, or was it?
No. When I found...
Was she able to actually find lifeguards for the rest, for the...
She provides lifeguards for several small cities throughout the Oklahoma City area, okay? She, like I said, she's like a regional director, and
Right.
she trained over 80, was it 80 or 800? For Okana recently in February. When they were going out, she trained 80 of them down in her pool in downtown Oklahoma City. Yeah, she's our niece. Her name's Sarah Robinson Holmes, and she's just a ball of fire. She's really good at what she does. And she says she can manage this pool and keep staff in it. So I believe her. I really do. And I don't know what it's going to cost, but at this point, I think we ought to open up the pool for free to constituents across the city. And I don't know how much that would cost, but I think we ought to do something, provide something, a good faith gesture for keeping this pool going. I guess my face is probably red, and you can tell I'm pretty, hard on this thing. But anyway, I appreciate the time, and
I do want to address that, Mr. Hightower, and know that I feel the exact same way, and all of us do. Unfortunately, we are stuck in a hard spot, but I do appreciate you coming up here, because this is really just pushing it to let us know that it's serious. It's very serious. We just went through a pretty huge budget analysis, a budget deal. We just approved our budget, and, things are going to happen, but I think with more of the pressure from the community to say this is really important, I really hope that we can move that up to a higher level on our list of things that need to get done right away. So the more people are vocal, I've seen it on Facebook, people are very upset, people have really voiced their opinion on there, and hopefully this contract goes through. Please make sure that you keep him updated, keep JD updated, keep me updated, because we do want to know those things. If you were not called at the time that you should have been called and things have already been done, we should already have some numbers by now. So at least you keep us accountable. Thank you.
okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jim. JD, do we have any updates on the pool?
I received some numbers, let me pull it up. So projected costs for the pool opening from July 5th through August 18th, with operations either 4 or 5 days a week, and then weekends through Labor Day once school resumes. You're looking at staffing, if it's 5 days a week, about $38,500. If we do 4 days in the week, it's $31,250. And the pool opening requirements, the chemicals, the mechanical, the things that we need to do is about $30,000. So grand total we're looking at on a 4-day-a-week process would be $61,250, and for 5 days it would be $68,500.
Offhand, you don't know, I probably have the statistics in front of you, but do you know how much the pool brings in every summer?
Less than 20,000, I would think. I mean, Joe, you'd have to double check my numbers on that, but
It is less than that.
But in our community, the children don't have anything to do. This is one thing that the children need. They need to be taught how to swim. It's a good exercise. It's fun, and that's what the kids look for at the summertime.
okay.
And just coming up with different solutions. Obviously, we already know that there's a loss of lifeguards. That's a big obstacle. But if there are other things like having somebody else do it for us, or looking into that, contacting other contacts that we may have, anything that we can do, we'll try harder.
At this time, any other public input? Jackie Mooney, 4833 Delview Drive, Del City. I don't know if it's time to do this or not, but Sooner Road is really bad riding down it. My car just goes kerplunk, 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 and I counted it, it's like every 3 to 5 seconds. Southbound at least, and that's kind of our side, isn't it? Do we have to partner with Midwest City on that?
The whereabouts on Cena Road, are you talking from 29th to 44th?
44th.
Officially, that's owned by Oklahoma City, but I will look and see what we have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Okay, any other public input? Okay. Council input? Councilman Tatum?
Nothing at this time.
Councilwoman Brown?
Nothing at this time.
Councilman Dean?
Nothing at this time.
Well, that was easy. Okay. Item 5, City Manager Report.
Okay. Couple of items, starting off with Back on June the 3rd, the Rotary Club had me come in and do a speech about the budget and kind of where we stand as a city for all of our items. So I wanted to thank the Rotary Club for hosting me for that, and for Councilman Brown for joining me at the 7 a.m. breakfast meeting. Those are always fun. And Councilman Brown, on the 4th, you got to attend Jason Moe's luncheon. You want to tell us how that went?
I really felt like it was going to be a little bit more intimate. I really thought that it was going to be more of a question-answer conversation, but it was more of a introduction, letting us know what he has, on his plate. Everybody, a lot of people were there, but I will say that I made sure that I asked about the jail. It's obviously still happening. They don't know how they're going to pay for it, but they're still going through with it. The health center, they're super proud of it. They're really gung-ho with it. So, sometimes I sat there thinking, like, do we all really realize that there is no money for this jail? But, we all sit in that room knowing that either way, it's happening. So it was fun. It was great. I was happy to represent Del City there. I kind of gave him a couple of little hot topics, questions, but it was all in love. So Justin Moe and I have a great relationship, and he loves Del City, and the next thing that we're going to do is have him come and visit with us and actually speak with us and our staff and take a tour of Del City.
Awesome. The only other items for council is a reminder that this Thursday, June 19th, is the Juneteenth holiday, so all of the city services will be closed besides the essential emergency services. On the 24th of June, another 7 o'clock in the morning meeting with the Rotary Club. We have a lifelong resident, Mark Gandy, who is an architect from Shimmer, that's going to be speaking on his ideas for the city of Del City and what kind of ideas he has to kind of build up the different items that we have that combines with our comprehensive plan and some of our future branding plans. So if you all have a minute and you want to come to that, that'll be on the 24th at 7 o'clock in the morning at the Spring Hill Suites. And then, of course, July 4th is a holiday, so we'll be closed on that day as well. And that is all I have.
Thank you, JD.
Sorry, moving to the department reports.
Okay.
Joe?
Yep, we received our sales tax in. Our sales tax was up $60,551.39, which is a 5.57% increase. Our use tax was down $1,895.68, which is a 1.21% decrease. Our tobacco tax was down $1,402.63, which is a 16.91% decrease. And our hotel motel tax was up $1,977.23, which is a 12.10% increase.
Awesome. Anything else? Yeah. City Attorney, anything exciting?
Go Thunder.
All right. Love hearing that. Assistant City Manager, anything exciting? All right, we like that too. Any other department heads hiding in the wings? Going once, going twice. All right, ma'am, that's all we have.
Thank you. Item 6, consent docket. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve the following items by unanimous consent with one motion. Item A, minutes of regular meeting of council of June 2nd, 2025. Item B, budget amendment for fiscal year 2024-2025, as shown as an Exhibit A to the council agenda. Item C, blanket purchase order, community development, fiscal year 2025. Approve or deny using PEC for general engineering, consulting and representation as required in matters relating to engineering services. Authorize, deny, initial of the... JD, should we do that separate?
You can, blanket purchase orders can be on a consent docket if you so choose, but it's up to you if you'd like to separate them out and vote separately. We can do items A and B and then move to item C separate.
Let's just keep pushing forward. Sorry. Okay, the PEC General Engineering Consulting and Representation as required in matters relating to engineering services, authorize, deny initiation of blanket purchase order and issuance of warrants for account 01510-376, professional services, not to exceed $24,000 upon receipt and validation of invoices.
I make a motion that we approve A, B, and C as written.
Second?
Take a vote. Councilwoman Brown? Aye. Councilman Tatum?
Aye.
Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Item 7, access abatement cost to property owners. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve and ratify or deny and remove the assessment cost in the total amount of $12,442.18 to property owners for cleanup of previously abated in accordance with Del City Code Sections 13-106 through 13-114. At this time, we're going to have J.D. read off the location, the owner, and the total expenses of each item.
Okay. Item 1,
JD, would you like me to read it as a motion?
sure.
Okay.
And why don't I get a actual copy? Is this all correct?
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like this is correct. Okay, so item 1 is location, it's 3825 Southeast 15th Street, owners Bacchus Family Partnership LP, and the total expenses is $649.54. Item 2, location is 4105 Southeast 10th Street, owners Lane Daniel M., and the total expenses is $1,019.54. Item number 3 is locations 3003 Southeast 44th Street, owners KFK Investments LLC, total expenses is $1,119.54. Item number 4 is 4756 Southeast 22nd Street, owners Lawrence Walker, and total expenses is $439.54. Item number 5 is 3926 Southeast 10th Street. Owner is Ryan Riccardelli, and the total expenses is $454.54. Item number 6 is 4001 Meadowview. Owner is Deborah Diminaggio and John Diminaggio, and the total expenses is $444.54. Item 7 is 4624 Southeast 24th Street. Owners Mid Equity Incorporated. Total expenses is $1,569.54. Item number 8 is 2108 Mickey Road, and the owner is P.D. McGlockry and June Trust McGlockry, P.D. Family Trust. Total expenses is $489.54. Item number 9 is 3900 Southeast 10th Street Place, and owner is Maysland Homes LLC. Total expenses is $929.54. Item number 10 is 1401 Brookdale Drive. Owner LQM Investments LLC. Total expenses is $529.54. Item number 11 is 2104 Mickey Road. Owner is Liam Investments LLC. Total expenses is $769.54. Item number 12 is 3301 Simmons. The owner is Mary and Michael D. Hood, and the total expenses is $609.54. Item number 13 is 2208 June Lane, and the owner is Omega Investments LLC. Total expenses is $1,019.54. Item number 14 is 2333 Becker Place. The owner is Michael P. Davis, and total expenses is $529.54. Item number 15 is 4115 Southeast 25th Street. Owner is Sunrise Property Solutions LLC. Total expenses is $529.54. Item number 16 is 4709 Southeast 23rd Street. Owner is Tony A. Dennis, and the total expenses is $619.54. Item 17 is 724 Dale Haven Drive. Owner is Dara Evans, and total expenses is $719.54. That's my motion to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? Take a vote. Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Councilman Tatum?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brown? Aye. Chair votes aye, motion passes. Item 8, emergency sewer line replacement, 4400 block of Southeast 40th Street. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve with modifications, or deny the emergency replacement of up to 315 feet of sewer line in the 4400 block of Southeast 40th Street, to be done by Urban Contractors LLC for a total cost not to exceed $65,500. Authorize mayor to endorse necessary documents.
I'll make a motion to approve the emergency replacement of up to 315 feet of sewer line in the 4400 block of Southeast 40th to be done by Urban Contractors LLC for a total cost not to exceed $65,500, and authorize mayor to endorse necessary documents.
Second.
Any discussion? Take a vote. Councilman Tatum?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brown? Aye. Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Item 9, renewal of agreements for fiscal year 2025-2026. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve renewal of agreements for fiscal year 2025-2026 as listed in Exhibit B to the council agenda. Authorize mayor to endorse as required.
I make a motion that we approve as written. And authorize mayor to endorse the same.
Second?
Any discussion? Take a vote. Councilwoman Brown? Aye. Councilman Tatum?
Aye.
Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. At this time, is there any council input?
Make a motion, we adjourn to the Delsey Municipal Services Authority.
Second.
Take a vote. Councilman Dean? Aye. Councilwoman Brown? Aye. Councilman Tatum?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. At this time, this is the regular meeting of DCMSA. Joe, will you please call roll?
Trustee Dean?
Here.
Trustee Brown?
Here.
Trustee Tatum?
Here.
And Chairwoman Finch?
Here. Is there any public input at this time? Seeing none, is there any trustee input? Item 4, manager's report.
Nothing at this time, ma'am.
Item 5, consent docket. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve the following items by unanimous consent with one motion. A, minutes of the regular meeting of DCMSA of June 2nd, 2025. B, budget amendment for fiscal year 2024-2025 as shown in Exhibit A to the DCMSA agenda. C, blanket purchase order sanitation division for fiscal year 2026 under account 2530327. 010228 Allied Waste Services, number 060 for $350,000. Item D, blanket purchase order sanitation division for fiscal year 2026 under the account of 2530328. 01-0228 Allied Waste Services, number 060, $30,000. Item E, blanket purchase order, Fleet Maintenance Division for fiscal year 2026 under account 2534218.
Chairwoman, you can just say the total amount on that.
Okay, so the total amount for the purchases would be $130,000. Item F, blanket purchase order, utility line maintenance division for fiscal year 2026 under account 20-530-218, 01-1065, Oklahoma Contractor Supply, $40,000.
Make a motion that we approve the consent docket items A through F.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am. So is this our last meeting to make budget amendments to the 2024-25 year?
This would be the last regular meeting. If we have anything that we would need to call upon, we'd ask for a special meeting by June 30th.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Take a vote. Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion passes. Item 6, surplus miscellaneous equipment. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve or deny declaring items listed in Appendix A as surplus and authorize final deposition of these items as approved by the trust manager.
Make a motion to approve declaring the items listed on Appendix A as surplus, authorize final disposition by the trust manager.
Second?
Any discussion? Take a vote. Trustee Dean?
Aye.
Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion passes. Item 7, renewal of agreements for fiscal year 2025-2026. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve renewal of agreements for fiscal year 2025-2026 as listed in Exhibit B to the trust agenda. Authorize chair to endorse as required.
I'll make a motion to approve renewal of agreements for fiscal year 2025 through 2026 as listed in Exhibit B to the trust agenda and authorize chair to endorse as required.
Second.
Any discussion? Take a vote. Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Trustee Dean?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion passes. Any other trust input?
I make a motion that we adjourn to the DCEDA.
Second.
Take a vote. Trustee Brown? Aye. Trustee Dean?
Aye.
Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We are now at the regular meeting of the Dell City Economic Development Authority. Joey, please call roll.
Trustee Dean.
Here.
Trustee Brown.
Here.
Trustee Tatum. Here. Chairwoman Finch.
Here. At this time, any public input? Seeing none, any trustee input? Manager's report?
Just a couple of things on this one. I want to thank Josh with the chamber, or are you going to come up too? Okay. Wanted to thank him for his the chamber coffee connection that we had on the 5th of June with our state senator, and I'm worried about him. Representative, I'm sitting, he's going two, and I'm like, what am I looking at? Okay. It was Mark Mann and Representative Andy Fugate, so thank you so much for hosting that. We appreciate it. And then I have a couple of items up here for the chamber, if you want to come up and, what's coming up next, or do you want me to do it?
No, I can go right ahead real quick. Again, Ron already said this Saturday from 4 to 8 at the Dell City Community Center, we'll be having our Neighbors Night Out. We have roughly about 30 or so vendors that'll be out, some of our local small businesses, people that have little things that they do in their house, so it's going to be really exciting. I know we have alpacas, we have bouncy houses, all sorts of stuff, so just be sure to come out and support the community. Parking, if you're handicapped, you'll be able to park in front of Patriot Park or in front of my office on the east side of the community center. Everyone else, parking will be available at Ray Trent Park, and there will be a couple golf carts that can bring you if you have difficulty walking. And then next Thursday, On the 26th will be our business night at Agemas, so be sure to come and join us there from 11:30 to 12:30 and enjoy some good Filipino food. And then Sunday, June 29th, will be our car show alongside the Destiny Celebration from 4 until sunset. And so that's really exciting. That'll be at Destiny Christian Center, and so be sure to come out and look at some of the cool cars. We'll also have vendors there, food trucks, etc. And then also the air show will be that weekend on the 28th and 29th.
Awesome.
I guess at this point really move anywhere. Oh, the Snack and Share tomorrow. Thank you, JD. So tomorrow, in partnership with Sovereign Bank and Homestead of Del City, they will be doing a Fraud Fighters Snack and Share. This is taking place at our Lunch and Learn, and they'll be discussing at Homestead how to prevent fraud. It's mostly geared towards senior citizens, but it's good information for anybody to know, just to how to the phishing and spam emails are getting a little bit more high-tech, and so they want to make sure everybody's aware of getting involved. I unfortunately won't be able to be there. They're doing a farewell lunch for Colonel Voight of the 552nd, so I'll be at that. But be sure to go out and support them, and we really appreciate them putting that on for our citizens here in Del City. I guess I won't really move. I'll just stay right here.
Awesome.
Thank you, Josh. Item 5, minutes, discussion, consideration, possible action to approve minutes of regular meeting of DCEDA of June 2nd, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Take a vote. Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Trustee Dean?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Item 6, memorandum of understanding for execution, it's so funny saying execution of events by the Del City Chamber of Commerce. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve or deny memorandum of understanding with the Del City Chamber of Commerce to provide services to the community, including organizing events that promote tourism and community engagement, allocating funding from the hotel motel tax not to exceed $50,000 for the execution of specific events during the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026. Authorized chair to endorse the same. Looking for a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Del City Chamber of Commerce to provide services to the community, including organizing events that promote tourism and community engagement, allocating funding from hotel motel tax not to exceed $50,000 for the execution of specific events during the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026, and authorize chair to endorse the same.
Second.
Discussion.
Okay. Thank you all for having me today. I've been told to be as fast as possible because we need to support the Thunder tonight. So what I'll just say really quickly is in January, you all gave us $17,000 a memorandum of understanding to perform certain events, i.e. the parade, to do a senior citizen focused event, and the Neighbors Night Out, which is going to be this weekend, and as well as take over doing dining in Del City for the year. And that, I'll just, the paper that I've handed out to you that you can read is a breakdown of the money spent, and also a very detailed synopsis and report of everything, and my thoughts and everything from those events. I won't read that, because obviously that will take more than a few minutes, so I don't want to bore you, so please feel free to read over that, and if you have any questions, you can call me tomorrow or after the Thunder game. Just real quick, I thought we had a fantastic parade. We took it over in January. overall pretty positive. There were some things that people suggested changing, and there were some things that were suggested the last time around, and it's just something we need to look at, obviously with the time frame of launching just real quick and the learning curve. Those were things we just didn't want to change too much so we didn't get ourselves in a weird bind. But it's stuff we will discuss as we look forward to the future. And now that I have that kind of knowledge base, so I look forward to that and making sure that we do everything efficiently and smooth for all of those entries and the participants. But overall, from both city staff and from our entries, it was overall pretty positive. They really enjoyed the parade. And like I said, nothing's perfect, and there's always ways to improve, and so we look forward to making sure we make those improvements. Senior citizen event, the biggest problem I think we had with that is just calling it a senior citizen event. That was kind of the complaint. Some people don't want to be called a senior citizen. And we've had some discussion, which I believe is in the MOU, of kind of just how do we change that to, because prom made it sound a little bit more formal than some people probably were wanting to attend. So if we do a prom style thing, how do we make sure people understand that you don't need to go buy a tuxedo and a prom dress, like come as you are, and this is just more of a fun event for our senior citizens, really our entire community, and also just to make sure we do it where it doesn't have a high cost for our senior citizens. Dining in Del City, it's been going well with our business bites when we do have. I think anybody here who's used to attend them a few years ago, it was like me and JD and Pam, or somebody from the council eating. Now we have usually a good amount of people, unless something burns down and we don't. But other than that, we usually have a good amount of people there attending and supporting the restaurant. They really appreciate that. I'm looking at doing something different. I know that in Oklahoma City and Lemoore, when they support their restaurants, they kind of give them a little bit more than just a paper certificate. I'd like to look into supporting, and that's written in there, either a plaque like the one you have there that we're giving our Tinker people, or maybe an acrylic trophy, just so that way it's a little bit more of a recognition of what they're of being here in Del City, and not just a piece of paper, but something that they can truly display, and also kind of give some incentive for others to be a part of the chamber, to be a part of the community, so we can go out and support them. So just looking at making those changes, and then again, I try to do everything with the thought process of not just being the chamber director, but also as a taxpayer. I live here in Del City, so I pay taxes, and I make sure I look at it as, how would I want, as the chamber director, this money spent, but also if I was a taxpayer sitting in the back here, would I be okay with how this money's being spent? And so when we did have some money through sponsorships and stuff left over, we were able to buy those plaques and kind of do more than just give a piece of paper to our awardees. And they've really appreciated that, and the leadership's really appreciated that, because it just continues to show our support from Del City to Tinker. And if any of y'all have been around long enough, you know that really Del City is a big supporter and proponent of the 552nd and the Navy side of Tinker Air Force Base, and we want to make sure that we continue to do that. Just to keep my time short, I will open up to any questions, comments, or concerns. If not, double it and vote yes. No, I'm just kidding.
Where did you get $50,000?
That was through discussion with our city staff, with our city manager, our assistant city manager, and Kyle Gandy, our development director. Most of that is, if we, as the chamber, were to get zero sponsorship and zero money to be able to do those functions, that should cover all those costs, with the anticipation of doing more events and leaving that window open. Something we've discussed is doing a rebate program. Edmond does this, I believe Norman does it, and Moore does it, where they do basically a shop small business month, where as the chamber, you're able to bring receipts saying that you shopped at a local business, and you're able to get a gift card for that. We're looking at doing that, and as well as implementing a grant program. The example I would like to use, and Pam, I'm just going to pick on you. I think your sign looks wonderful, so don't take it as that. But let's say Pam at PJ's Flowers needed to build a new sign. She had $3,500 and the sign cost $5,000. I think that she should be able to apply for a grant at the chamber and not have to go get a loan at the bank, and the chamber can make sure that she gets that $1,500 that's going to cover her sign. That's going to allow us to get involved in the beautification side of our community and our businesses, to be able to provide some more service to them other than just throwing on events. That costs a little bit of money, and we would like this to grow into actually having like a grant fund, So that way we can provide those for some of our businesses that, maybe they're a few $100s short, and it's not really worth going to get a loan at the bank with the way interest rates sometimes are, but they know that they can go ask the chamber, and it's something that I know the city's talked about, but really aren't able to do legally, but this is a way that the chamber has freed up money to be able to do that and support our local small businesses.
$50,000 is a lot of money, but when you consider all the chamber does throughout the year, it doesn't seem like that much. If, for some reason, you have money left over at the end of the next fiscal year, does that money just roll into the next?
Yeah, so while your fiscal year is from, July to June, ours is January to December. And so, yes, that money just continues to roll over. So like the money we have left over from not spending it on some of the items that we had. Like dining in Del City, as you will look, that's for the full year. But that's what we're looking at is like the Tinker Awards. How are we going to support some of our community partners? How are we going to maybe put some more money into our schools? If you've been around Mid-Del long enough, you know some of the local Del City schools. Not to any fault of the district itself, but just, I'm not going to call any schools out, but they may have access to some more capital that our high school does not. And how can we make sure that we support our students, our teachers in those schools to make sure that they feel supported by the business community, and just give those opportunities. And as well as DelQuest and the money, obviously we won't be coming and asking for more money when it comes to DelQuest or some of our other events that you all would typically sponsor. And that's just going to roll over and making sure, and how do we take that money that we have left over and continue to grow the programs we already have? How can we invest more money into, let's say, the parade or Neighbors Night Out after this year? But also, is there something new that we haven't thought of that maybe we can start doing in partnership with the city with the money that we receive? So I'm always open to anything that, when it comes to that.
What is your biggest expense, the Armed Forces Parade?
Yes, it would be the Armed Forces Day Parade. Other than paying me, that is the biggest expense that the chamber has.
How about after
now.
that, would it be Halloween?
The next would be actually our Hall of Fame banquet. That costs anywhere from $7,000 to $8,000 depending. Used to cost us a whole lot more, but I like to be fiscally responsible, and I cut it down a lot because it was just some of it was a little bit of fluff, and we're looking at bolstering that as we have combined the auction and Hall of Fame into one event when we typically used to do it split, which also allowed us to be able to take over the parade and have the time to be able to focus on that.
So, Mr. Tatum, are you asking about what's the most expensive event out of this $50,000? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
Because, Mr. Schultz.
Yes, it will be.
Mr. Schultz got that mixed up with his salary doesn't come out of these funds.
No.
And
So
neither does the ball. No.
yeah, so this will be, so out of this event, it will be the Armed Forces Day Parade. And then we haven't, and then I would probably venture to guess that the Del City Family Fiesta will be the next biggest expense, and then DelQuest.
Excuse me. What I do not see on here that maybe we could talk about later, as you start talking about grants, I do know that sometimes you are going to have to spend a little bit to even apply for some grants. Are we able to also, is he allowed to use our engineers or some of our knowledge that we have to help him cross the finish line with some of these grants?
If there's a specific project or something that we're working with, yes, we can make that happen.
Just make sure as you are really looking at these grants that, whatever it is that we can do on our end to help you get across the finish line with those grants, because sometimes the chamber may be more effective than the city is with certain small grants.
When I'm talking about grants, the grants will actually be through the chamber itself.
Oh, I see, I see.
So we would provide the funding from us to the said business.
And they'll have to be a chamber member.
Yes, they will have to be a chamber. Everybody that participates in any of this will have to be a chamber member, which will incentivize our businesses to be involved in our chamber, but also at the same time, it just kind of opens us up to sponsorship opportunities because we're doing these things. And I know that was kind of some of the conversations was the city doesn't really have that ability to accept sponsorships as easily as, if someone writes me for example, a $5,000 check for Neighbors Night Out, there's not a process. I just say thank you and go cash it, versus you might have to have a few meetings or go through legal to figure that out versus we get to be able to do that, which may free up some money, which is why we look for other opportunities to support the community.
Okay.
Will this 50,000 be given in one lump sum?
No, it will be in two payments, from $25,000, which will be paid in whatever time frame that is after this agreement, after the new fiscal year for you all turns over, and then again in January. In January at some point, yes. So 25,000 July, 25,000 January, because our fiscal year is January to December. So in our theory is the 17,000 and that 25,000 is one thing for our full year. If we got all 50,000 now, our budget would look very weird come January, February, March, April, getting the next 50,000, because that's not how we budget. We budget from January to December.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? We're going to take a vote. Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Trustee Dean?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Item 7, agreement, The Retail Coach LLC for professional consulting services. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve with modifications, or deny renewing agreement with The Retail Coach LLC for fiscal year 2025-26, currently serving as an economic development consulting firm for DCEDA in the amount not to exceed $25,000. Authorize trust to endorse same, direct staff accordingly.
Make a motion that we approve renewing the agreement with the Retail Coach LLC for fiscal year 25 through 26 for an amount not to exceed $25,000. Authorized the trust chair to endorse same. Direct staff accordingly.
Second.
Any discussion? Take a vote. Trustee Dean?
Aye.
Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Chair votes aye, motion passes. Any other trust input?
Make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
Take a vote. Trustee Dean?
Aye.
Trustee Tatum?
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Chair votes aye, motion passes. Now let's thunder up.